Alright, well, welcome back. So, now I'm getting ready to go take on Minax. I still have a few things I need to do. I wanted to show you kind of how to find everything you need to beat Minax. I did a lot of grinding off camera because I figured at this point you all understood that there's an awful lot of grinding to this game. And that's not to say there might still be a little bit more grinding, but I tried to get rid of most of it. So. Alright, so I'm here at Pirates Harbor, and I'm here for the rocket. So we're going to just go straight up here. Unlock the door, kill this guard. Board this frigate, we're going to ignore those other guards, they can't get to me. Alright, we're going to board a rocket, and we're going to launch it. In order to use the rocket, you either have to have reflect armor or power armor. No other kind of armor will do. So, if you have anything less than that, it won't go anywhere. I think in the original version it would just kill you. So we're going to hyperwarp to 999. Every time you warp, it takes one trilithium. Original Ultima had a full Star Raiders clone built into it, as part of the space scene. I mean, you actually had to go and blow up TIE fighters in that game. This game, the space stuff is kind of curtailed. All the planets are here, but there's really not much difference between them and Earth, except they have a lot less stuff. But you have to go to Planet X in order to complete the game. So we're going to land. You have to be very careful to land on grass, or else instant game over. We're going to go into the castle here. So talk to the Queen Susan. Queen Susan says Father Antos awaits you. And Father Antos is the goal of coming here. All this grinding I did to steal a rocket and come out into space. As well. Get some from King Ozymandias. So I've got a lot of keys from doing battle with guards in Pirates Harbor. Walk through this poison swamp to get where I need to go. They get the army of these guards together, they could have taken care of Minax long ago, because those guards are tough. Alright, might as well find some monsters, because I still need lots and lots of gold. Gold makes the world go around in Ultima. I seem to be having a hard time hitting these thieves. Yeah, he stole one of my strange coins. Never fails. I hate those thieves. There's a town there, but I'm not going into it because it's got a thief that chases you around. And if you fight back against the thief, then you get attacked by the guards. So there's nothing important there either. So. Wise or lower wise. So alright, we're gonna go ahead and launch off. Back to Earth. Earth was at 666, so that's where we're going. Both of the things we need next are in New San Antonio. Careful. We want to come to a crash landing, because otherwise I have to do all that stuff again. I'll just land in Canada here. Alright. Guess we'll take the plane out of here. I don't think I really need to come back at this point. Alright, we're going to land the plane up here. Park it near Merida, Mexico. Okay. Like I said, I mean, there's less need for grinding here, but unfortunately it's not entirely gone away. And so I think I may make sure I've got plenty of supplies here. Might need a few torches, but I'll probably need more hit points, but I may decide to go and do that dungeon up there. Alright, let's go ahead and wipe out these monsters. Do everything we can from them. Now, dungeons are extremely tough. And they're pretty much useless because the objective to them is to pick up trilithium fuel to power the rocket, and you know, since monsters drop that anyway, there's no point, but I may do it anyway just to kind of show you what the dungeons are like, just so you don't have to. Alright, this helps. Another torch off of this guy. Alright, so I had a little itch in my nose. Okay. Now, both of the things that you need to win are in New San Antonio. One is the ring that was mentioned by Father Antos. The other is called the Quick Sword. It's the most powerful weapon in the game, and I think it's the only weapon that can hurt Minax. Quick Sword is also known as Anilno, which is online spelled backwards. And online refers to Online Systems, which was the publisher of Ultima II. Ultima I was originally published in plastic bags, and Ultima II was published by Online Systems, which later became Sierra Online, run by Ken and Roberta Williams. And that was because Gary wanted a company that could do a nice box with a lot of feelies in it, and that's what he got out of it. But after that, he started self-publishing this family-founded Origin Systems formally, and they started publishing for themselves. So, okay. So we're still, like I said, there's still a little grinding, but hopefully it won't be quite so bad going forward. And we're kind of getting towards the end game here. Let's see, my stats are, I've about maxed out all of my important stats. So that's one of the things I try to do off camera, is try to beef up my important stats as much as possible. Alright. this game weren't so stingy and random with gold, and I suppose there's that would probably be easy enough to mod into the game. So somebody did mod in this patch. Somebody did mod in the ability to not have the Hotel California clerk take your gold without doing anything for you. Oops, another frigate. Okay, so I got 417. I want to get 500. Avoid giving those thieves a chance to rob me, because I want to hang on to those strange coins just in case. Seems like every time they steal, it's one of those. I've got 3 of them. So I need 15 more gold to get what I'm looking for. Thoroughly sailed all around this miniaturized version of our world. Alright, 508 gold, so alright, I'm gonna save my game here. I don't know how dangerous this is going to be. Because one of the things I'm wanting here is inside the prison. And, oh yeah, so I'm going to have to... I think what I want is that fighter. Had bribery. I'm not sure if Ultima II has bribery in it as well. Alright, so I'm going to go through this time door. If not, there's going to be an awful lot of fighting going on. It's going to get rough. Okay, there's going to be a lot of monsters spawning. Oh, there's one. Okay, 538 gold. We'll see if offering the guard 100 gold will get him to go away without fighting. Otherwise, I'm going to have to fight my way out of there. Strange coins, 4. Okay, 4 strange coins, so it doesn't look like he took anything of consequence, so you've got boosted my strange coin count, so I may need them for what I'm getting ready to do. Alright. more gold, and then try to get into the prison there. Like I said, if I can't, then it's going to be kind of rough. We got 1 gold from that sea serpent. Alright, now I got what I need here, so alright, careful on that thief there. Fighter will help too. Okay, we're going to exit. I'm going to save again because this is going to be a little dangerous. Let me kind of case the joint a little bit too. See if there's any way I can sneak out of town without. See if there's any fast exits out of town. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to fight my way out. Guess I could unlock my way to the airport, steal the plane and fly out of here. Alright. Let's see. And now here comes the fun part. See if I can get these guards to kind of pile up here. This is where those strange coins are going to come in handy. Alright, we're going to transaction where I've got a click blade. 500. And they'll know it's yours. Alright. So I'm going to go ready 9. I've got the quick sword on. Okay, negate time. Oops. Yep, even at high levels, those guards are really a pain. So we're going to reset. We left off. See if we can use those strange coins to get through this. Okay. Lock. Okay. All right. Ready. Quick. So I've got the quick sword. I'm going to go ahead and negate time. We can make my breakthrough here. So I'm going to take more than one. All right. I'm going to board a plane and launch it. All right. So we got the quick sword. Land our new plane up there. So that's one of the 2 things we need to beat Minax. So those anyway, because this would be easy to deal with Minax's castle. Alright, so I got 2,300 hit points. Okay. All I really need to do is, or I really actually need to do is just get 500 gold for the ring, and then I can go attack Minax. But yeah, let's do a dungeon, even though it's completely unnecessary. And if you get caught in a dungeon, without torches, then you're pretty much screwed. And torches will go away faster than you can think. So 30 torches. Hit points will also go away faster than you can think they would. Burned out. Alright. I am consulting a map here because, you know, it's just a smart thing to do. Yeah, I can't imagine. Back in the olden days, you had to do your own maps on graph paper. We didn't have any. So I'm on level 2. There are 15 floors in every dungeon. Towers go up and dungeons go down. So let's see if there's anything worth getting here. Yeah. Okay, so we're climbing. See if I can get my bearings here. Reason why it's almost not worth doing dungeons is because they're so big and okay. Climb. Let's see. I'm just going straight to the top here. Okay, so we're on level 9. And then there's also these gremlins here. They steal your food. So if you get caught without food, then yep, you're done. Alright. This is where things get not quite as straightforward as you'd maybe like them to. Someone stole some food. Gremlin's not going to steal some food. This is where things get a little less straightforward. Because you actually have to backtrack here. Three gold, no experience. Really? Those ghosts blow out your torches, so that just adds to the fun. So. Alright, we're at level 13. 14. These gremlins and go. So, gremlins are honestly the most dangerous enemies. Alright, I don't think I'm going to make it this time, so I'm probably just going to food. We got a hit point, so yeah, I'm probably gonna die. Yep, I am gonna die. Okay. So this is what all that fighting and losing hit points was for trilithium. That's the only goal to dungeons. You can also find gold there, but alright, so I died, but you know, you've seen me. I'll do half of a dungeon, the other half, of course, is getting out alive, which, you know, 2316 hit points and 1600 food wasn't enough. So we're just going to stick to... we can use the lower levels of the dungeon to grind for gold, at least. Use that dungeon in particular because, you know, I've studied it in past playthroughs. So now there's a big treasure trove of gold in the lower levels, so it really helps. Fortunately, a lot of these treasure chests have armor, which is always cheesy armor like chainmail or plate, or leather armor. Not any actually good armor like reflector power armor. So again, you're at the mercy of capricious random number gods. Every time you leave the dungeon, everything in it gets reset, so just keep doing this over and over again. Use it to sometimes boost your gold when the monsters on the overworld aren't biting. This is one of the pitfalls of the dungeons. Unless you really keep track of your location, you can get lost rather easily. Armor chests are starting to get a little annoying. Monsters that jump scare you like they were playing Doom or something. Empty armor. And 1 gold, so that one gave 17 gold at least. That one just gave 1 gold though. Okay. And we're just gonna wash, rinse, and repeat here. Thing about finding armor is that you can't sell anything you find in this game. It would really help if you could, but it's not what happened, so alright, so I've got 500 more gold, so let's go back to New San Antonio and claim our own, claim the other thing we need from there. Alright, and all is forgiven, of course. I fought my way past guards and stole a plane from the San Antonio airport, which, there's also a lot of Air Force bases here, so I got a lot of trouble, and all of a sudden they've forgotten about it. So let's place we need to go is back here. Okay. Alright, the ring is yours. And rings can get stolen, so that ring is necessary to get through the force fields in Minax's castle. So right now we're just basically down to basic grinding for hit points and stats. I want to make sure I'm good to go when I go after Minax. So even with the best armor and maxed out agility, Minax's minions will still chew up your hit points. Alright, so just need to beef up a little bit. We're ready to do party time at Minax's castle. Okay, so moving right along. Yeah, I'm sorry this part of it isn't all that exciting, but could try to minimize some of the grinding at least. Stock up on food. Okay. 530 gold. Torches I got. Trying to make sure these monsters don't get the drop on me because it's going to slow things down if they do. Gonna boost my stats up a little bit. Let's see, stamina's maxed out. And strength's maxed out. Well, not quite. Save. All right. Got some good Good gold bonuses there. Alright, 187 gold. 200 gold. Definitely need to get some hit points. Thankfully, hit points are relatively cheap. Thank you, Lord British. Alright, 2219. I'm going to use some more grinding. Sorry about the grinding. Make sure I can beat Minax. Monsters haven't shown up yet. Yep, there they are. And even with good armor and my stamina, these monsters still hit like trucks. Mostly concentrate on boosting my hit points. Useless armor chests. One thing about the dungeons is that avoid not getting hit. You know, they spawn monsters pretty regularly, a lot more so than the overworld does. That wasn't too good. Nice if you could sell all this armor you're finding. Okay. Australia's loaded up with monsters. I'm not going to get caught without torches. That would be disastrous. Yeah. Try to avoid monster ambushes in this dungeon. I think this may be my last dungeon trip. Alright. Transact with Lord British. Gather up some gold, and I think I may go ahead and take a run at Minax. If you get too many hit points and Lord British starts reducing the number of hit points he gives you, part of that was to avoid the rollover bug that was present in all the early Ultimas. It took them a while to figure out how to keep numbers from rolling up once they were maxed out. The unpatched version of this game, that would happen, but I've got the patch installed, which also gives me all this nice, lovely EGA color. So, all right. Alright, here's where things get kind of dicey. Look at all those demons. That's about what you'd expect from Minax. Just hacking my way through hordes of demons. They're apparently human minions. Okay, a frigate. We do need to do some grinding. This will help. Just use this to blast all the monsters on legends. So this definitely helps. Sail around legends and just blow up monsters for a little bit. Look at all that gold. I'm just cleaning up all the monsters here. The frigate. Let's go to Minax's castle now. So this this is where you need the ring. The thief stole my ring. So, yeah, dirty thief. Well, that's no biggie. I mean, you can brute strength your way across that force field, but I'd rather have the hit points ready for actually dealing with Minax. With all these monsters that constantly respawn, you know, it's not that hard to get gold. Just circle around the continent. I hate thieves. Alright, well, that was a bit of a setback, but, you know, not fatally so. I've heard sometimes after you get the ring, if it gets stolen, and sometimes thieves will drop it when you kill them. go rectify that little setback. Alright, ring is yours. So, alright, I can get back into Minax's castle without getting hurt. Replenish the hit points I lost from all that. But I think we're in a good, as long as we don't have another thief steal my ring, then we're in a good position. Yeah, might as well stock up on food. I don't think I'm going to need it at this point. But just in case. Okay. Stock up on hit points, get out of my way. Alright, 66, 63 hit points. Alright. Head back to Time of Legends. Finish the job with Minax. Another thief. 2 more thieves. Still got my ring. Make sure that thief didn't steal my ring again. Okay, ring's still in my inventory, so we're still in good shape. Alright, let's try this again. Ring protects from field. Okay, so right now we're not going to bother anybody. Stuff. Just there for flavoring. Actually, this is yeah, one of these monsters is like super strong. Alright, so I've got him trapped behind that wall. Now it's time to go pay a visit to Miss Minax. Okay, Minax. Alright, may not have quite enough to beat Minax yet. It would help if I hadn't gotten trapped by that demon. Okay, we're gonna just okay. to this little path here. Okay. I have to do this over again. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough to survive much more from Minax. She casts spells on you. Yep. Alright, we're going to try this again. Okay, as long as you stay within that, within this pathway, and don't let those demons out of the cage. Okay, that museum. Okay. Okay. So make sure I have the thief. Yep, even with everything maxed out, Minax is still incredibly tough to defeat. Make sure that the strong demon stays trapped in a museum. Yeah, this demon here is immortal, so alright, we're gonna try this one more time. Well, we're gonna try this till we do it, which hopefully won't take forever. But we are gonna do this thing. See if Minax is down here in the trap them with. Okay. Kind of divide up the pain here. Okay. So I think I have an idea of how to do this. I'll try to trap these jerks up against that wall. Now I'm free to hammer on Minax. Every time you hit Minax, she teleports to the opposite corner of the castle. So as long as I stay within this corridor, central corridor here, thanks to 1980s AI, it should be okay. Just have to have enough to survive her spells. But nope, none of the other enemies are going to bother me at this point, so I'm just going to keep doing this until rinse and repeat. Okay. Okay, so not sure how many times you have to hit Minax before she's done, but just annoying rather than dangerous. Okay, we're going to keep doing it again. Just going to keep on doing it till we get it right. Alright, we got Minax. We have saved the world. So Minax's castle is apparently crumbling. Thankfully you don't have to escape from it. Okay. So guess I'm just going to fly around in a rocket ship until Alright, so that was a complete playthrough of Ultima II. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about the grinding, but at least I got to show you a few things. So, even though it was kind of a buggy game with a lot of stuff that didn't quite work out right, like the dungeons, I've always had a fondness for Ultima II. It had a lot of really unique ideas that, Garriott just needed a little bit more technology to bring to life. And, considering that he was working by himself on 1980s hardware, early 80s, he actually did a pretty good job with this one. So, later Ultimas would refine the formula and he would find a unified theme for the games, but really this was an enjoyable game with all of its flaws. I guess you have to be a certain kind of person to enjoy it. The CRPG addict had a rather succinct take on Ultima II, which is where you break into a girl's castle and kill her because she's upset with you about you killing her boyfriend. So, alright, well, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.